Hey guys, this is Hamid, again author of the book 7-Figure Agency Mindset A to Z, architect of the top global digital agency, Software Pro, Ecom Development, NYC, and HTML Pro. Today, I'm going to share with you my journey and also my experiences of working with Fortune 500 companies and being a partner of the Fortune 500 companies as well as an agency. How you should keep and divide your cost to different percentage in different departments of your company. Let's start with number one. The direct production cost, which could be in-house or the vendor cost in terms of human capital required for the direct delivery. And the book says it should be not more than 35 to 40%. What does that mean? If you check the chapter of my book, which has information about are you going to have in-house resources or are you going to outsource your work to external vendors, then you're going to assess that, okay, if I keep the cost in-house or the resources in-house, how it's going to affect my cost, the overall cost from the revenue which you got. And then you also have to assess that if you outsource that work, you may end up in higher production cost. So let's say you have labor in-house, but then you will need the training resources, you will need more support resources, and combining all of those resources would eventually have to be not more than 35 to 40% of the total revenue that you receive. So that essentially means that if you're getting $100 at the day end, your production cost or the direct production delivery cost should not be more than 35 to 40%. So what happens usually, what I've seen is that if you do in-house production, it usually falls between 20-25%, maximum 30%, because you have your in-house team, you can have your junior or the mid-level resources do the work. But then if you outsource the same work, you may end up paying higher hourly rates to your vendors or external partners, and it may go beyond 35 to 40%, but just make sure it doesn't go beyond 40%. Why? Because you have more cost to bear in your agency. What are those costs? One of them is overhead, which could include rent, utilities, office space, office supplies, equipment, computers, printers, furniture, and IT. So since we have almost 130 plus resources in our group, my IT teams, they send us invoices almost daily. So my finance team have to process daily in terms of maybe buying the new equipment, fixing the laptops, fixing new devices. You probably need devices to design a software, to test a software. You might need different screens, to design a cool website, different Macs, different Windows. So all of these are your overheads, your expenses to actually make sure that you deliver a good work. So it's not only the developer cost or the marketer cost or SEO guy cost, which you need to keep in mind, but you're actually paying for a lot of devices, your overheads, electricity, rents, and lots of other expenses in order to make sure that you're keeping those 130 resources happy and your customers happy as well. And that's not enough. Let's go to the next cost. The next cost is sales and marketing costs. For example, web hosting, digital marketing campaigns, lead generation campaigns, and any costs associated with purchasing or paying to the relevant resources. For example, your sales resources or agents and your marketing managers as well. Now remember that all of these things which I mentioned are not actually producing revenue for you, but they're aiding to actually get more revenues. Your sales team, your marketing teams are trying to get the traction, to get more leads, to convert more leads, to get more projects. So all of these costs are not direct delivery costs, direct production costs. These are sales and marketing costs. So the overhead costs should not exceed more than 10%. Yes. So if you're doing a lot of luxury and you're not keeping the expenses in mind, you may end up with no or low profits. Similarly, the sales and marketing cost should not exceed more than 10 to 15%. I would put a capping on 15% and have steady growth if you want to reinvest your money back to your business and have more sales if you don't have seed as well. So combining all these costs, let's say direct production cost 40%, overhead cost 10%, sales and marketing cost 15%. But there is one more cost, which is your support costs. Now, what is the support cost? It says finance and support costs, integration support, project management, human resources, admin, and business licenses and renewals. Now, these are all the costs and all the people who are actually working to make all of other people's work better. So your human resources team is actually trying to recruit more quality engineers, digital marketers for you. Your admin team is making sure that, okay, everyone should have a cool environment in the office. Your legal teams are making sure that you're legally protected. And then you have business renewals, your license renewals. So just ensure that your support cost is not exceeding 10%. So if you're paying so high to your human resource manager because you like him, no. It's going to exceed the cost in the end and you'll have lower profits. So overall, your support team should not have more than 10%. So combining all of these costs, you know how much is it? That's about 70 to 75%. And that is leaving you a maximum profit of 25 to 30%. Yes. So any profit which is less than 25 to 30%, unfortunately, your business is not making good moves. So in order for you to make sure that your business is making good profits and growing further, you have some good cushions of the profits in your business. If you see that, okay, your marketing team is consuming too much money, or your direct delivery teams are taking so much time in completing the task and is taking the direct production cost to 50% and more, or you are doing so much luxury in overheads that it is exceeding 20%, then eventually it's gonna impact your overall cost for the agency, leaving you with minimal profits, and you might end up with low salary or low profits. So my friends and agency owners, I really hope that in order to ensure that you reach to the 7 figures, you're keeping all those costs in mind, and then you're making moves as a visionary of the agency, keeping a close eye on all the costs, having your CFO to make sure that he's controlling the costs as well, and ensuring that you have a steady growth for your agency to achieve 7 figures and beyond. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this session. Do not forget to go on hamidpro.com. If you don't have a book, 7-Figure Agency Mindset A to Z, go ahead and get a complete grip and information and roadmap and a blueprint to understand how to make a 7-figure agency from the ground up. Until next time, it's Hamid Mahmood.